Hello, Cinema Peeps.
Hello.
Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Happy Tuesday.
We have a really exciting episode today because we have our first interviewee. Yay!
Nailed it.
A co-worker slash friend of Kaylee's, who is also a filmmaker. He has been working on a few short films, short films that have been submitted into film festivals, and he's going to film school virtually online. So he was gracious enough to come on the podcast and talk a little bit about it. So we'll dive right into it. This is Shaun Pulsifer, filmmaker, director, writer, all of the things. He's a auteur of sorts, and let's get into it.
Hell yeah. Oh good God. Okay, we got this. Hello, Cinema Peeps.
Hey, Cinema Peeps.
What? Is that a third person?
What? We've got an intruder.
Oh my God. Yeah, we already fucked up. Okay.
Why?
Anyway,
Why? What did we do?
No, I'm gonna say it later. Anyways. Random guest. Would you like to introduce yourselves to our audience of two people?
Hi, I'm Shaun Pulsifer, and I'm a film student at the Los Angeles Film School, and I'm writer-director of The Nobody Prayer and 36 Days, which is currently in the film festival circuit winning awards.
Yeah,
Woo-hoo,
like every day. Every day.
Yeah, congrats. That's awesome.
Thank you.
we want to talk to you about some of that stuff, but just to kind of like as like a bit of an icebreaker and kind of get things rolling, we wanted to ask you what's your favorite film?
That's always a hard one.
I know.
I feel like everyone does a big sigh.
Sometimes I like break it up into franchises as to what my favorite franchise, like what in the franchise, and then but I've never really thought of like what one particular movie, but I would say right now is like what I'm using for inspiration is Poltergeist, the original Poltergeist, 1982.
That's a good one. I
love
love
that movie. To this day still makes me scared of the white noise on television.
Oh yeah,
it just creeps me out.
Yeah, no kidding.
Of course, it's not common anymore because of digital, but I don't like that.
Oh yeah. No, I get that. It's creepy. it's a good movie. That's a good one. Okay, so the other one we wanted to ask you then too is do you have a favorite film director?
I'd say Steven Spielberg.
Wow.
Excellent.
Jurassic Park is the movie that got me interested in film, just seeing real life dinosaurs on the big screen, and Steven Spielberg directed that one. And E.T. is a favorite movie of mine as a child, so I would say he's a big inspiration.
So you almost got Kendra.
he's my favorite film director too, but E.T. I have some childhood trauma with E.T., so we'll just that's another story for another time. But yeah, Steven Spielberg, excellent.
Well, also he directed Poltergeist as well.
He did. Yes, he did. Yep.
He did?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I must be thinking of something completely different then.
Maybe the new one.
No. Is that not the one with the girl who goes up backwards up the stairs?
No, that's The Exorcist.
No. Okay. Yeah. See, that's where I'm getting. There we go. That's all I was pitching was the vomiting girl. And I was like,
oh yeah.
Yeah. White noise, guys.
Projectile vomit.
Yeah. No, completely different horror movie.
That was too weird. I did not like that.
Yeah, you're not a big fan of the horror movies, I know.
I try my best. Okay? I try my darndest.
You're the horror game. You like the horror games, but
yes, for whatever reason, maybe because I feel I have more control.
Yes,
I can just sit there for 5 minutes and be like, no, I'm not going to continue the story. I'm going to sit right here and do nothing. But honestly, why don't some of the characters like I don't know. Like sometimes they're just like, this clearly seems like a bad idea, but let's all go forward anyway.
That's how the story progresses. You gotta, find out what happens.
Or we don't. Or we could go off to the sunset and be like, you know what, guys? Do you remember that like murder house? Lol, back in the day. And they just go off and they live their lives. Maybe someone would have lived longer. I don't know.
I've got cheesecake back home.
You followed the horror movie rules. Don't separate.
Exactly.
Get out.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's Scooby-Doo rules, but I just lied. They always separate. They're like, all right, let's split up, gang. Search for clues.
Yeah, wasn't it? I think it was Scream, the movie Scream, that started had that publicized with the rules of the horror movie and stuff like that. Yeah, there's a new Scream out too. Actually, it just came out.
And you'll be watching
that
alone.
yesterday.
Did you see it yesterday? Excellent.
Oh,
how was it?
It was good.
Yeah.
It had its flaws, but overall, it's an entertaining movie.
Awesome. Good. Did it like do or pay homage to the original series? I know they were trying to.
Yes, it did.
Nice. Awesome.
I definitely remember that, watching the trailer in the theater. They're like, the original cast and new blood. Cool. I'm sure people who really like this will be excited. I'm just very indifferent. Yay. We were going to talk about Nobody's Prayer because I helped work on that project with you. Yes. That was really good grammar. I nailed that, folks. But there is like a really kind of fun as in like, that's not how, Nobody's Prayer like was so different from where you started it. So I was wondering if you wanted to talk about that a little bit and just kind of share some of the background with that.
So as part of, my film program, we had just the Nobody's Prayer was my mini capstone project. And in January was my screenwriting class, which I wrote the original screenplay, which was A Voice in the Dark, which was a story of how I met my partner, as well as exploring who I was at the time. And because of the new COVID restrictions our lovely government imposed at the beginning of May, when the month we were going to film the movie, I had 2 days to figure out what the hell I was going to do.
Oh boy.
And 2 days I decided, okay, no indoor gatherings, and try to, do a smaller crew, smaller cast. So it's like I took this one 2-line scene in A Voice in the Dark and turned it into a 7-page screenplay for a short film, which turned into the Nobody's Prayer. And pretty much that two-line section was a prayer scene when in reality, it was like I was in Tucson, Arizona, sitting on a picnic table, and I just felt this urge to pray to God about what am I okay with who I am in His eyes, and why do I feel like I'm unacceptable, unlovable to Him, and taking that emotion from that time, I decided let's explore that much further than what A Voice in the Dark would have explored, and it turned into what it turned into in 2 days in rewrite.
That's crazy.
That's so cool. Yeah, it's neat how just you have one thing in mind, and then like you said, you obviously had your obstacles, but to just have something completely different come out of that, and obviously something that you're very proud of and has been doing really well. So that's awesome.
And the whole 2 days, the whole reason it was 2 days is because each week we have to have certain assignments turned in, and in May was my directing class. So the week 3 was the production weekend, which fell on our long weekend. And so Thursday, I decided on the story, but I had to rewrite the script as well as mark the script to break it down into its elements, knowing what props I needed, what, sound, all the different elements of the script. I had to do that within 2 days for the assignment that was due on the Sunday.
Wow. Holy, you must have been exhausted after that.
Fortunately, we were still closed at work, so I had time to do it at work.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Because we were doing skip and Uber at the time, so I got to sit at a table and rewrite it while I was at work.
Nice. That's awesome.
That was crazy. Yeah. And so, primarily everything we filmed was outside at that point, by the fire pit.
Yeah, in the cold.
To be fair, night 1 wasn't very cold. Well, okay, it was cold, but I don't remember what the actual temperature was, but I think it was after 1 o'clock. I was like, oh yeah, it's a little chilly. I wish I brought a heavier jacket. And so when we were filming the next day, we were doing more outdoor scenes with a fire pit. I was like, okay, I need to bring gloves. I need to at least bring a better jacket. Did I do any of that? No. It like blipped out of my mind, and I showed up wearing the exact same stuff, and it was even colder. But that was because there was a wind, and it was so chilly. I don't know how everybody else was doing, but I was in like the fetal position by the camera, and I'd be like, "Are we rolling? Okay, cool. I'm gonna be in this ball, dying." Everybody's like, "All right, let's go." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm so cold."
Oh boy.
Not one of my brighter moments. No, we nailed it. We nailed
it's like it was so cold. I'm like, okay, I think we have everything we need. So it's like, let's wrap.
Let's GTFO. Yeah.
Make like a tree and get out of here.
There was only one shot I ended up having to do on my own, which was just a close up of with the Bible open. And my fingers in that scene, if you've seen that yet.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah. Well,
it was a challenge to do that on my own too, to get the camera over my shoulder at the right position.
Oh yeah, honestly, yeah. Filming by yourself is like, you think it's easy, but it's not.
No.
Right. So we kind of lightly skipped over it before, but like me and Kendra met each other through film school in Vancouver many moons ago, but you were taking film online. So like me and Kendra were kind of curious, like, what is that like for you?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of experience is that like? Wow, I nailed it.
I'm in month 31 now. I have a 36-month program, and I've actually really enjoyed it. It's like, it's all 100% online. And each week, basically each month is a different course. So like this month is development for my final project. Next month is producing, and then March is pre-production. April will be the production month, and then May would be editing. So you have 4 weeks for each assignment. So basically each week you have these assignments you need to do. Usually Wednesday, Friday, Sunday are your due dates. And I've been finding it very easy. Other people don't find it easy, but then it's like you get a tech kit from the school, which is yours to keep. It's part of the tuition, and which includes a camera, clapper, 2 lights, a reflector, microphones. I end up purchasing a sound recorder because one of my sound classes, it was easier to do the assignment with the camera as well as the sound recorder. So I did that. So it's been very easy, because with working 2 jobs and doing school, it's easy to fit it in throughout the week. And so it's just like, that's how I have found it. Like, and basically I've maintained a 4.0 GPA because of it.
Nice. Awesome.
Since starting in July of 2019.
That's when you started doing the film school?
Yep, I started in July of 2019. Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
And I even went to Disney World.
Wow.
At one point, and did homework at Disney World.
Wow, that's really neat.
That was back in the early days of the program when I was more book work versus film work. Now I wouldn't go on vacation when I'm in the class.
So in the beginning, like, because you're obviously more in the middle of it now, what sort of stuff did they have you do? Like, did they have you learning like the film history type stuff and all that kind of? Oh, okay, yeah.
So like my first month was a class called digital literacy. So it's basically learning online etiquette, research principles on what to look for reputable resources when you're researching. And then my second month was like all about the different aspects of film, like different areas and departments. And then my third month was a class called behavioral science. So it kind of helped you understand who you are, basically, because it's like it takes a look at what are your study habits. And here are some skills to help you develop goals and stuff like that. And then my fourth month was like cinema history. So I learned about the history of the movies and stuff. And then I started getting into screenwriting, story development, and so like
nice.
Each month it kind of escalates, but then there's times it feels like, okay, you're taking a step backwards and taking kind of more of a core course like that the state of California requires. Like even my math class that I took in like a year into the program, I already was taking cinematography classes, and all of a sudden here's math. And I've never done well in math, but that class I actually got 100% for the first time ever in math.
Wow, good for you. That's awesome.
And it's the way that it was taught, because the website they used, like you just keep working at it until you get a good grade on it. So you don't have to accept the grade you have. You just keep working at the problem until you got it right.
Cool. That's cool that you have that opportunity to kind of grow that way. It's not just like once and you're done sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool.
And so I think COVID helped quite a bit too, because the school became a little bit more lenient on people because they know it was a stressful time, as well as, if you got sick, like I did in December of 2020, they go a little bit lighter on you as long as you communicate what's going on. Like they're really good at, making sure they work with you. Like when I got COVID in December 2020, that was my first directing course. And I ended up having to once again pivot on my project. It turned into a silent movie because my partner also got COVID, so I couldn't finish filming. So I just turned it into a silent movie. And the director, the instructor approved it because I told him I have COVID. So I'm doing the best I can.
Yeah, you gotta go with the flow, I guess, right?
Exactly.
So do you get to interact with any of the other like students in your school, or is it mostly just like you doing the course yourself?
Pretty much like each week there is like a discussion board. So like there's a discussion question, and you're required to respond to one or two classmates in that discussion board. And that's pretty much the interaction we have with other students, unless we connect with somebody and we interact online with, like through Facebook or whatever. There's like one person that we started the program together that I connected with. We talk on Facebook regularly about what we're doing and stuff. And our schedules kind of got separated because she had to change one of her classes at one point in one of our 2 course month. And so she's like a month behind me now because of doing that. But it kind of helps her because then she kind of knows what to expect in the coming month.
Nice. I was gonna say maybe she did it for
the advantage.
She's thinking. She's like, I got this now. I got all the cheats. I got the cheats. Yeah, I remember just doing online in high school, and that was a pain. But I guess to be fair, technology has advanced quite a bit.
It has.
I was gonna say, just even like hearing you talk about like your experience going through the school and the stuff that you have to do, it's just so vastly different from what we went through in film school. Like we were still doing what was it, Final Cut Pro, like on the disc where you had to download it into the actual computer, and not like on Adobe where you just like download the program online now.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we luckily didn't do that for super long, but we also had to use like tapes in our first year.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They had other equipment that didn't require that, but they were like, nope, it's part of your package. You have to do this. It was a pain.
Yeah, we went from like I went from like legit film, real like film tape film, and then to digital.
Yeah.
I guess as close as you can.
Dealing with digital is wonderful. I'm glad I don't have to deal with film, especially from a distance.
Yeah. What kind of camera do you get to use then? Because you said they send you a camera?
Yeah, I have the Sony FS5.
Wow, cool.
I was the last group that actually got that camera. They switched to the Blackmagic the month after. So if I started in August, I would have got that camera. But I really love my cameras.
Damn.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's always not like, because you could always buy the best camera possible and try to keep up to date with that, but sometimes it's better just to use what you have and realize like, wow, like I can crush it. Because if you can crush it with that, then you can crush it with anything.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what they teach, is like, you don't need the top of the line stuff. You use what you got and you can make an awesome film. It's like, basically, as long as audio isn't crap, you're golden.
Right?
Honestly, yeah. So I mean, like, what, there's whole film festivals that are dedicated to like filming on your iPhone. Yeah. And like seeing some of the ones just on your iPhone, I'm just like, well, that puts me to shame. I'm gonna go to bed now. I'm a failure. No.
What's the quote? It's not about the camera, it's about who's behind the lens, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And if it's me, it's dangerous, basically. I remember when you did
win, some cinematography award for Nobody's Prayer.
Yes.
When Shaun messaged me that, I was like, bro, you're no, Shaun, no. And he's like, yeah, like, congrats. And I was like, wow, that made my day. I like sent it to my parents were away and they're like, wow. And I was like, yeah, can you believe it? Honestly, I actually learned a lot from filming. Like, again, cinematography is like one of my weakest like points as I feel as a filmmaker. I don't know why, but it just is, or maybe I'm just insecure. But yeah, I just learned a lot just in terms of like oh my gosh, what are words in the English language? Again, I think like, because like me and Kendra will do short films together, but it's difficult because we don't live in the same city. And so I feel like when you have to do everything yourself, like, quality dips and like there's things you can't focus on and you wish you could. So I feel like in terms of like cinematography, that's where I'm like, I just have to kind of shoot this and let this be, let it be what it is. But actually having time to do it was really interesting. So I'm like, oh, I just have to do this. Oh, I'm like used to doing 500 other things. Like, what is this? And then I don't know if it's like having confidence, but then just being like, hey, is like this what you're looking for? Because sometimes I'm like, I don't know if this is right. But I remember specifically when we were shooting the fire pit stuff, where our actor Robert was like the stand-in as like God in a way. And he's like in the flames and stuff, and the people are in the flames. I was like, I don't know, is this working? And all I heard is you behind the camera, oh, that's it. That's okay, roll. And I was like, oh, okay. Sure. Oh, nice. Roll. So I think again, just having that collaborative process is just always so much fun. Yeah, I just feel like I got a little bit better. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Speaking of projects, you're currently working on one right now. Do you want to share any details about it, or is it still going to be hush hush for a little bit?
Oh, I'm fine with sharing details. Well, now this is my capstone project, which is my final project for my film program. So once this is done, I'm graduating. So
yay.
Pretty much like this the story is one based off of a family ghost story. Like, this is one I've heard all my life from my mom's cousin. Like, they're the ones that experienced these events, and the film is called Entity. So it's about Samuel Holt. He passed away in 1850, and the Kessinger family, they built a house on the property of the former sawmill that the Holt brothers owned in the 1850s. And as a result, it awakens Samuel, who is confused and uncertain of who he is and where he is, and has no awareness of even what happened to him. So through the connection with the Kessinger family, youngest son, Jeffrey, Samuel finally realizes what happened to him, and an indigenous healer helps guide him to the other side in the end.
Damn.
Cool. Nice.
Damn.
And about the facts are there, but characters have changed, and because in the true story, it's not an indigenous healer, it's actually my cousin's grandmother that guided Samuel to the other side and helping him realize what happened.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And it, instead of being just a family of three, it was like it's a family, a mother, father, and I think it was 4 siblings. So it's like a bigger family, but for budget reasons and time constraints, I like, let's tone it down a bit.
You can't hire that many children.
Yeah. And there was even a dog, and I'm like, I'm not having animal handlers on set, so no dogs.
Kaylee's got a full-fledged dog walking business going on here. She could do.
I don't know how well Rudy is with commands. I'm trying to teach him to attack, and he's not even doing that. So like, I'm sure with enough treats, but then we'd have maybe a weird consistency. Day 1 of shooting the dog, he looks normal. Day 30, he's a little pudgy ball. Continuity. This is not going to be very good.
So this is also like a story that for the longest time, that side of the family wouldn't talk about, especially the outsiders. And when I approached her to do it, she had to talk to her siblings first, and they came back and said, yes, I could do it, and feel really honored and privileged to be able to tell this story. Because even like after it happened, a lot of people were very weird with the family. Like you had religious people coming to their door saying, you need to get off the property. And just they were thought of being as crazy. It was that's why they actually stopped talking about it for a very long time until now they're ready to allow it to be more public. And as well as Leslie, who's the one I'm going through, she even kind of sees this as a way for the story to heal itself, because apparently the land is still kind of off. But even though Samuel's gone, the land still hasn't healed, and so she thinks this could be a way to allow that healing to occur.
Ooh.
Oh. Well, I hope so. Thank you, Shaun, very much for coming on and doing this with us.
Yes,
You're
thank
welcome.
you.
Blast.
I'm glad to be the first.
Yes. And hopefully in the future, maybe we'll do another one. Yeah.
Would you like to plug anything that you want to, or shout out anything? Here's your time now.
Coming up here in the spring, I'm going to release Nobody's Prayer to the general public on my Facebook page. On the Nobody Prayer Facebook page. So just search Nobody Prayer and just like and follow, and you'll be able to watch the film. 36 Days will be released, which is a documentary on my political run during this last election. That will be coming out this spring as well on its Facebook page, 36 Days, a documentary.
Damn.
And then Entity will be coming out later in the year after I've graduated and got my grade on it, and it starts its festival circuit.
Awesome.
Nice.
Well, we wish you all the luck on that. And we'll put all the links to all of those in our description for the video. Cool. And where, if people want to follow you, where can they find you on social media?
Just look up Shaun T. Pulsifer for Facebook. I also have a webpage I'm developing, shaunpulsifer.ca.
Awesome.
Nice. And
cool.
Barefoot Film Student on Instagram.
All right, cool. We'll put all of that in the description. So if anybody wants to check Shaun's films out or check him out or give him a follow, we'll put it all in the description there.
Nailed it.
Excellent. Thanks again, Shaun, for joining us.
You're very welcome.
It was wonderful to meet you.
Nice meeting you as well.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I don't even know how to end this. We're not used to having 3 people. I don't know how to end this. Well, till next time, have a happy Tuesday, everybody. Watch all the content, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
But yeah, no, I thought it went well. Did you think it went well? It was a good interview for our first interview of the podcast.
Yeah, I was really good at phrasing questions, and I nailed it entirely.
You're a regular Barbara Walters.
Thank you. Yeah, I honestly actually didn't know that Steven Spielberg was his favorite director. I didn't pay him. I didn't pay him at all to say that.
Well, I would hope there's more than just me out there who likes Steven Spielberg as a favorite director. He is a brilliant man.
Venmoing Shaun now.
I will say I think it's like, it was neat to hear him talk about how, like, what virtual film school is like, because it's just so vastly different from what we went through.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I feel like, because I know we had done like our own episode of like, is film school worth it and stuff like that in the past. And I don't know, in the back of my head, I was just kind of thinking, because he was talking about how most of, like, he's got that kind of community he can discuss with online and stuff like that, which is cool. And obviously, if you can take advantage of that opportunity, you can probably really like make some good friends with people. But I feel like that kind of personal connection that we had, where we actually got to collaborate in person together and get to know like-minded individuals and be like thrown into the thick of it with everybody. I think that's kind of like a priceless thing. Like that's probably what makes film school the most worth it, at least in-person film school, right?
Yeah. Like, I think in one way it sounds like he has a really great connection with like his teachers and like, you know, the occasional students. And I mean, it'd be really cool to have like, you know people from like California or in LA and all that. But I mean, to be fair, like we wouldn't be doing this podcast at all if we never met in film school.
This is true. Yes, this is true.
Know? And I feel, and again, Shaun spoke to being like how it works for him in his life, because he's a busy guy.
Yeah.
You know, he does, even outside of film, he does a lot of cool things. He did I guess he didn't mention this, but he's now part of the Alberta Ghostbusters, who are out here, who raise money for charity and stuff, you know. So he does like a lot of things. So hearing him, you know, say like, this works for my life, you know, like it makes sense.
Yeah.
You know?
And he seems really happy with it, so that's cool.
Anyways, a big thank you to Shaun again. And
yes,
like we said, links will all be down below for all that fun stuff.
Yeah, you can check out all of his films, the ones that he's got out right now or will be released, I guess. So he has some trailers there you can check out, and hopefully by the time this is out, you'll be able to see the projects he's done and some that are up and coming. And yeah, give him some love and some support.
Hell yeah.
And give us some love and support while you're at it as well. And if you like this interview that we did with Shaun and you want to do more, let us know in the comments below if there's anybody you think if there's somebody out there who wants to be interviewed, or if you want to see more of these, and maybe we'll try and see if we can get some more of our own filmmaker friends or anybody else that we know around that would like to come on and talk about movies and film.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Woo. All right, you guys, have a wonderful rest of your day. Watch all the content. Until next time, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Monkey.
And slap.